you to give you a true knowledge of yourself and life, so that the same glory and success attained by other men who understand themselves may be yours. Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man in lacking the knowledge that man is used to beautify the world and produce all that he needs for his happiness and civilization. Look the world over, and whatever you see in it that is pleasing to man, contributing to man's comfort, to his needs and to his satisfaction, it is but the work of man. Man blessed with the knowledge of himself and the understanding of all things around him. If you are able to live with the knowledge of yourself and with the greater knowledge of nature, you must know what is good and what is not. You must know what is finite. You must know that which is material, physical, and otherwise is at your disposal to create or otherwise use. If we leave America and go over to the east to Japan, they will be telling their fellow citizens of Japan of the wonderful accomplishments of the Japanese people, proving that man is moving onward as time moves on. But you have hated yourselves as you have done in previous years. You have shown malice, prejudice, and hate to each other. And the result is that while other races have made progress, while India has made progress towards nationalism, while Ireland has made progress towards republicanism, while the whole world has made progress in man's accomplishments, you still stand fighting yourselves, dishonoring yourselves, showing no disposition toward that higher life, so that you will be abundantly blessed. So reflect and think that you were created for some purpose other than exhibiting malice toward your neighbor or fellow men of your own race. What a pity it is that we cannot stand united without a written law. There is no written law compelling other races to stand together. They are brought together by the gentle touch of nature. The unwritten law of nature causes them to stand together on all occasions. So wheresoever you find them in the field, that one gentle touch of nature causes them to stand together, if need be, die together. But with the black man, you can preach to him from the pulpits. You lecture from the platforms, from the byways and the hedges. The spirit of cooperation, but he will not cooperate. You talk to him gently, you try talking harshly to him, he still will not cooperate. The result is that he falls prey to those who understand themselves and walk through the world making you their serfs and slaves. You must acquire an understanding of yourselves. Look around you. See the smiling pictures of nature, the beautiful hedges, the wonderful mountains, the wonderful vegetation all around. But because of your disposition to each other, you live in suffering, in want, in penury, and in debt. You lack the gentle touch of nature, love for each other. You hate yourselves. Black men, and what is wrong with you? Why have you no affection for yourselves? Could I hope to see you living among yourselves as the people I've spoken of? Living in charity, love, and in sympathy with each other? It can be done. I wonder if you will adapt that course. Isn't it easier to enjoy prosperity than to live in ignorance and darkness? Why select the worst out of nature? Nature never gave pain, suffering, and death to the world. It was man himself who selected death, pain, and sorrow. I wonder if I cannot inspire you to select between good and evil. Let me impress upon you once again that whatsoever your hardships may be, whatsoever your difficulties in life, they are your own selection.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. Welcome, family. Welcome, loved ones. Welcome to my critics. Welcome to my enemies. Welcome. Look, believe it or not, family, we were all created by the same God. Whether or not you want to acknowledge it or not, I'm here to tell you, my brothers and sisters, that we were all created by the same God of the universe. The God that's within me, the God who let the sun rises by day and the moon by night, the God that give life to the fishes of the sea and to the animals of the earth. That's the God I'm talking about, family. Family, again, look, welcome. You are listening to The Proven Truth. You are tuned in to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown, coming to you live from the studio of Radio Gumbo Creole here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. And again, if it wasn't beautiful, I wouldn't have said so. So you can take my word for it. Or if you don't believe me, you can come on down from wherever you are and visit this territory, and you'll see for yourself. Now, in visiting the territory, you need to visit the local people, the local people, and you will see. You just check out the semi-tropical climate, and you will see for yourself. Look, stop by the studio and say hi to your brother. You will see what we're talking about. Look, family, there are some hard-working patriots out there that it would be remiss of us if we don't call out to them or give them a shout-out. There are some hard-working patriots out there, law-abiding people who love the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, who love this country so much, and every day they go out and they talk on behalf of the masses. And I think, we here on The Proven Truth recognize these people, and these are people who we associate ourselves with on a day-to-day basis and think it is righteous or just to give them a shout out. And look, there's many of them. But we're talking about this black sister, this beautiful black sister by the name of Major Tracy Riley. We are talking about this other beautiful black sister, this beautiful black warrior princess by the name of Kim Ford. We are talking about a brother by the name of this other champion by the name of affectionately called Noonie by his friends, his close friends, Belden Baptiste. We think it fit to give a shout out to these people. These people are people who out there every day fighting, even utilizing their own resources to let the voice or the oppressed voice or the voiceless, the people who don't have certain platform here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, to make their own voice heard. These people I see on a day-to-day basis out there speaking to people in authority about issues that affect every single man, woman, and child, be it Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever your party affiliation is, whatever your race or your sexuality or your gender is. These people, look, I'm not saying that these people who I just mentioned are the only three people out there who are championing for the voiceless, the young, and the elderly. However, what I'm saying on a day-to-day basis, why? Because these are people who I see every single day out there doing that. And these are not people in public office. These are not people who is getting public dollars or no dollars at all, period, to be honest with you. These are people who actually out there. Look, you can look any issue of the day, be it sewage and water board, be it energy, be it whatever, be it, look, fighting alongside me with this property tax issue here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, is people like Tracy Riley, Major Tracy Riley, people like Kim Ford, people like Belden Baptiste, people like Mike Owell. These are people who actually out there every day, family, speaking to people in authority about these issues, speaking to people who we, the electorate, put into public office. And they are out there speaking to these people, saying, man, look, You guys not doing what is right. You guys ain't doing what is right, or the people of New Orleans are suffering. The people of Louisiana are suffering. These people, you can see them any given day in Baton Rouge. You can see them any given day in the city of New Orleans. You can see them any given day out there on the front line. Look, we must elevate our own. We must recognize our own. Not only after their passing, family. Not only, look, I tell when I see her, or see, look, you can ask them. When I see the sister, Major Tracy Riley, every time I see her, I give her a hug and tell her, look, I love you, girl. Every time I see Kim Ford, I give her a hug and I say, look, I love you, girl. Every time I see my brother, Beldan Nooniman Batiste, I say, what's up, bro? And I hit his fist and say, let's keep on doing this. Every time I see Mike Owell and certain others, because we need to elevate our own, we need to recognize our own, and we need to give them moral, physical, mental, and financial support when we can. Follow me, people. These are people who are out there, not elected officials, not getting any public resources or any money from John Public. These are the average people who see the hypocrisy, who see the wrong that's been perpetrated on the people of New Orleans, Louisiana, and they take it upon themselves. They are standing and making and letting their voice be heard. To these people, to these warriors, I say much love. To these warriors, I salute you. Major Tracy Riley, my warrior sister Kim Ford, my brother from another mother, Beldan Batiste, my brother from another mother, Mike Howell, my brother from another mother, Tim. And for all who I don't make mention of, who is out there fighting on behalf of the people of this territory, much love as well from Anthony Brown and the staff here at The Proven Truth. Much love. Because there's a lot of you out there who, deserve mentioning. A lot of you out there who deserve mentioning. But for these people who every single day, who the local media don't come to your door every time you call them, but you still do what you do. Much love. Family, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule, out of your busy day, out of your beautiful Saturday evening to listen to your brother. We appreciate that. We respect that love that you give to us. Again, if you want to participate in this show, if you want to let your voice be heard, we don't edit, we don't sanction, we don't stop anybody from calling this program, this show. A matter of fact, again, this program was designed for the voiceless, for the people who the establishment won't recognize your complaint or your issue. Here it is. The Proven Truth Radio Gumbo Career is here for you. And to do that, to let your voice be heard, to let John Public know what you're thinking about, you can call us here, 504-303-8922. Again, that telephone number is 504-303-8922. You can also listen to us by dialing 712-432-7883. You can also check us out on the web by going to www.radiogumbocreole.net, where you can listen to us as well. You can listen to us live. Again, that's www.radiogumbocreole.net. We live stream, family, this and every show on the Facebook. We live stream this and every show on the Facebook at Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. That's Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. And for all my Facebook friends, family, for all of you guys who are tuning with us right now, much love. We also live stream this program on the YouTube. We also live stream this program on the YouTube. And you can check us out on The Proven Truth, the TheProvenTruth, The Proven Truth, where you can likewise leave a comment, pose a question, subscribe to us, show some love, or you can also come on, utilize this platform to come on the show as a live guest. Again, this is an interactive media. Okay, we don't, whatever your views and opinions are, we will listen. We will listen, family. We will listen. Look, yesterday, Friday, August the 3rd, we have in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, Dillard University, where two congressional candidates, two people has been in Washington, D.C. for quite some time now. One from this territory, from the 2nd Congressional District, Cedric Richmond, who has been a congressman for the past 5 terms or for the past 10 years. And what happened yesterday, he hosted an event at Dillard University where he invited his friend, his colleague, Elizabeth Warner, who is presently on the ballot too, looking to be re-elected to her seat or her position this November in Massachusetts, invited her to Dillard to have a dialogue according to them, to inform the public of what they have been doing in Washington, D.C. for so many years. Now, listen to my family. This is what I'm saying. Real quick. And this was the same argument that I made in the local government election in 2017. Out between James Gray, Alicia Plummer, Cindy, and everybody that was on the ballot for District E. When James Gray came out, right, and stated that he had a communication problem, or that the people of New Orleans East didn't know what he was doing, and he have to reevaluate or event itself. You know, the argument was that, look, I've been doing a lot of stuff, but they just don't know. Now, the argument is, if you was doing so much stuff that benefit the people of New Orleans East, they would have known about it. They would have known about it. The only thing you did, or the only business, or the only momentum that happened out in the political subdivision of New Orleans East was that we have a lot of dollar stores, Dollar Generals. They just pop up all over the place overnight. And the people of New Orleans, they say, hold up, too much of that crap. Now, here it was yesterday, we had Cedric Richmond and Elizabeth Warner at Dillard University, an event to which I attended. And it was just so that Cedric Richmond would have somebody else, another Democrat in Washington, D.C., to come here to tell the people of New Orleans, Louisiana, what Cedric Richmond have been doing in Washington, D.C. for the past 10 years. You see the irony? So, he's an elected official here from this territory. We the people don't have a clue what he have been doing because we haven't seen the end product of a Cedric Richmond for the past 10 years. Not only that, Cedric Richmond is the chairperson, the chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, a very powerful position, right? We the black masses, we the black people of New Orleans, Louisiana, haven't seen any justification, haven't seen any result, haven't seen the end product of the fact that he has been the chairman of the Black Caucus. So we, you know, with that authority, right, comes certain perks, certain privilege, certain privilege, right? We the people of New Orleans haven't seen that. As a matter of fact, as a congressman, we haven't seen any piece of legislative act or anything substantive or substantial that Cedric Richmond did for the people of New Orleans. No, look, this statement, I'm not speaking to Cedric Richmond close circle net of people, his family members and his staff, and because those people will tell you, oh, he moved heaven and earth. No, I'm talking to the masses, to the everyday person, to the mom and pop, to the people who get up early in the morning, hustle and bustle, get themselves together, get the kids together, get the family together, to go there to do 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, just to come back home and repeat that cycle. Those are the people who we're talking to, right? Those are the people that we are speaking about, or we are speaking to. Not his crony friends in elected office. Not the Paula Brown, the Bernard Johnson, the John Bell Edwards, and all of his other crony friends. And again, when you recognize or have the knowledge as we do, that's why we give him the title, the Godfather, because he is actually the leader, the Godfather for the Louisiana political machine. He's the one who calls the shot, and he utilized, just like how Cedric Richmond utilized his authority, right, as the United States councilman, as the same way he utilized that power over the elected officials here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, to get what he wants, to regulate who is on the ballot, who runs and who don't run, to get what he wants, right? He could utilize his power that we the people give him in Washington, D.C. the same way, so we the people of New Orleans could have seen something. So here it is, Elizabeth Warner is there. Now, let me tell you something off the bat, family. One, I was actually surprised to see the amount of people that was there. When I pull up to Dillard yesterday, right, when I pull up, I recognized that there was some policy enforcers out there stopping the flow of traffic and saying that, look, and diverting the flow of traffic off of the premises, informing the people, look, go and find somewhere else to park, right? So I just, without even going any further, I reckon I was going on, so I just turned and went and find parking somewhere else. Now, when I went on the premises, right, I don't know what the capacity of that auditorium there in Dillard is. I don't know. And I'm not even going to guess. But what I will tell you, that the auditorium itself was full. When I say full, I mean all the seats inside there was occupied. So they had a room adjoining the auditorium. I hear them make reference to as what they said they call it the spillover room or whatever they call it. But it's an adjoining room, right? Where there's apparently there's a hallway, and then there's a door you can leave from the auditorium to that room, right? Now the spillover room, the room itself, again, not to estimate what size, it was really a tremendous room, but the room was filled in terms of the amount of seating that they had. People were standing to the back. Now, what I come to recognize in asking questions and listening to the people that was there, they weren't there for Cedric Richmond or because Cedric Richmond was actually there or speaking. They were there because of Elizabeth Warren, right? And apparently because I listened to her speech, and she have this feminist movement behind her, right? She spoke about Donald Trump winning the presidency, and the day after, this massive movement or protest, this feminine movement was out there, blah, 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 right? And a few of those females, so apparently she have groupies. She have groupies who follow her all around. A lot of the people were people from Dillard University as well, staff members and students from Dillard, So to get an actual figure or an idea of how many people was there to or in support of Cedric Richmond, you couldn't tell. And again, for the most part, even when I went into the auditorium, right, because the couple of people who I spoke with was there because of Elizabeth Warren, and I get that feeling throughout. I got that feeling throughout. Okay? And you can see based on the what's his name, the director or the of Dillard, because he was telling us how him and Cedric Richmond have been a long time friend, and basically some misogynist type of thing, some kiss ass type of, you know what I mean? It was sad. That portion of it was sad, in my opinion. But again, the vast majority of people I was there because of Elizabeth Warren, right? And the fact that Cedric Richmond was to invite an Elizabeth Warren to come here to tell the people of New Orleans what Cedric Richmond have been doing in Washington, D.C. is a goddamn shame. It's a shame. And that in and of itself tells you that Cedric Richmond wasn't doing a goddamn thing in Washington, D.C. Because if he were doing something in Washington, D.C., we the people here would know about it. We the people here would know about it. And let me tell you something. For a large group of us, we are not ignorant and we are not fool. We are not stupid. Okay? We see Cedric Richmond endorse certain bills, right? During this administration, during Trump administration, bills to which if he was serious about, he would have done it during the Obama era, during the Obama term in office. Okay? So for the vast majority of us who are knowledgeable about the issue, we ain't buying that shit. Really ain't buying that. We ain't stupid. Now, look, people, I'm not going to stay on this topic or this issue too long, but this is what you need to understand or recognize. And it amazes me how people, intelligent people, grown people, haven't seen this and recognize it or act upon it. When you have a politician that's been in office like Cedric Richmond for so long, people like people like Errol G. Williams, a lot of these so-called judges that's on the bench, people who've been in office for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, a lifetime, and they only come to you, the bosses, the electorate, when it is time for them to get re-elected to public office. And you just sit back, fold your arms, and smile and don't do nothing or say nothing. It blows the mind, it baffles the mind, or at least my mind, how that can happen. You know? How could, if you was actually doing what you were supposed to do, you would have actually came out. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, family. Cedric Richmond has been the congressional representative for the 2nd Congressional District here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Cedric Richmond did not came to the, or did not, thus far, haven't come out to the people with a list and say, look, this is what I have been doing, A, B, C, D. This is what I've been fighting for, A, B, C, D. This is the issue, A, B. No. And not only that, but if you should look where Cedric Richmond holds his events, that in and of itself should speak volume. Look where he holds his events. Now, the places that he holds his event, the average person cannot interact with him. Cannot. Because one, he holds events where you have to actually pay to go and listen to him or hear him speak. Pay. You have to pay or give a donation, otherwise you don't go to those doors. You have to go to places like Dillard, where you have to write down any question that you want to ask on a piece of card so that they can regulate which question they choose to answer. Where they have massive amount of policy enforcers, where you call police officers or security. So the average people who this guy support, we have kiss-ass people who, the average people don't have a chance to meet and greet their elected official there in Washington, D.C., in a Cedric Richmond. Family. Black people here in America, listen to what I'm saying carefully, suffer more under the authority of the Democratic Party and its so-called leaders than any other party or leaders in this country. Black people suffer more under the Democratic Party and the people who form the Democratic Party more than any other party. And what the Democratic Party do is try to disguise their own actions. Is try to turn the table around and point what they are doing. The actions that the Democratic Party take, they spin that around onto their opposition and call out the opposition for what they are doing. And if it is that bad when the opposition party does it, why isn't it as bad when they do it? Which in most cases, when they levy an allegation against any individual or any party, that's all it is, an allegation. And if you should look on the allegation that they levy is something that they actually did. I am not a slave and I refuse to act like one. That's the title of today's show. We here on The Proven Truth, we are black conscious, not black ignorant. We are black conscious, not black ignorant. And because we are black conscious, we call out to our ancestors. We honor those who came before us, who made the ultimate sacrifice, who give us this platform on which we are here right now. We recognize the work, the sacrifice of our ancestors. And to them we say much love. To them we say rest in peace. To them we say thank you. We make mention of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Nanny from the Maroon, Paul Bogle, Fred Hamilton. And brothers and sisters, I implore you, for those of you who don't know much about these ancestors, my list, these people who I make reference to every day on this show, I implore you, go out and do some research. Do some research. These people are not spoken of in the schools. These people, these ancestors, ain't been given the recognition that they should have been given. We have black kids, both my generation, before my generation, and after my generation, who don't have a clue about these ancestors right here. I implore you, my brothers and sisters, take some time out of your busy day, go and do some research so that you may be able to pay respect to these ancestors right here. Fred Hamilton, Maurice Bishop, Malcolm X, Carter G. Wilson, Harriet Tubman, Thomas Sankara, Samuel Makell, Bookman Juti, Toussaint Louverture, Jack Dessalines. These are warriors. These are people who love the black masses so much. These are people who love freedom so much. These are people who love life and believe in a God, the God of the universe, so much that when the mightiful reign or the mightiful arms of the white supremacists of Britain, of Spain, came down on these ancestors, they say, give me freedom or give me death. In a time when all they had was the courage, the wisdom and knowledge that the God gave to them. And they did tremendous things with very little. My brothers and sisters, look, I was thrust into this fight on the forefront because I'm one black man who believe in freedom, believe in equality, and believe in my God. My rights are the rights that I so exercise or choose to exercise was given to me by my Creator, my God, the God of the universe. He is the one who give me that same God that's inside of me. He is the one who give me my rights. No man on planet Earth and the universe, no man can give me or tell me what my rights is. My rights that I so choose to exercise cannot be found in no book, in no statute, in no constitution. No. My rights is whatever I choose my rights to be, or I claim my rights is, or are. That's what my rights is. Personally, family, on a day-to-day basis, I don't even know what my goddamn rights is. My rights are. Because it depends on the mood or the frame of mind that I am in today or in this moment. Right now, I'm exercising my right, my God-given right, to speak to my brothers and sisters from the studio right here. Yeah. No man can regulate this. This is my God-given right. I do it because I want to. Who can stop me? Who? Who can regulate what I'm doing right now? Nobody can do that shit. No, understand the concept. When this nation was formed, the United States of America, there was a document we refer to as the Constitution. Now, family, for those of you who don't know, the United States Constitution is the oldest such document on planet Earth as we know it in this civilization. A matter of fact, yes, in this civilization, because in the previous civilization, we never have that crap, and we never need it. But this document, the United States Constitution, it's the oldest such document. From this document, other territories around planet Earth went thereafter and create their own document. Now, within the Constitution of America, we have what is known a Bill of Rights or amendments. Now, if you understand theologically, if you understand the principle of the Constitution, or the purpose of the Constitution, if you understand the purpose of the Constitution or the intent of the Constitution, then you will right off the bat recognize that this document wasn't meant for we the people. It wasn't. In no way, shape, or form. It was meant for them. Who is them? Goddamn government. Government. Elected officials. That's why this document was created or established, the Constitution, not for we the people. Why the hell we the people should create a document to regulate what we do? No. We are free, born free, and continue to be free in the creation of the Constitution. When this document was created, it was to inform this group of people over here, sir, who we call government. That entity that we call government. It was to inform this group of people over here who we call elected officials, who would then operate or run this entity we call government. And what we did, we outlined in this document, we said, look, check this out. We create this contract for you, which that's why it is, family, it's a contract. We create this contract for you, and we put some amendment to this contract. And what these amendments are is just to inform you or to enlighten you or to remind you that we are the bosses. You work for us. You my bitch. You work for us. Let me take that bitch part back. You are our employees. You work for us. And in executing your official duty as Mr. Judge, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Councilperson, Mr. President, Mr. Governor, Mr. whatever it is you are, we need you to bear in mind that there is rights that we the people don't give up, will not give up, right? And you need to be mindful. You need to tread carefully. You need to ensure that you don't trespass on certain rights that we retain as the bosses. Understand the concept. You need to remember that. So, hence, we have the amendments to the Constitution. Now, people refer to it wrongfully. And look, I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I talk about my constitutional rights. There is no such thing. I ain't gonna guard them constitutional rights. I got rights, right? That the constitutional that the Constitution recognize, and it's stated there verbatim, so that the politician, the elected official, can go and look and say, okay, here it is. Amendment number 1. Congress shall make no law respecting or abridging the people from peaceable assembly or speech. Okay? Number 2, the people have a right to keep and bear arms. We can't touch that. And it goes on and on. So in the United States Constitution, we outline certain rights to them. Now, that in and of itself is not, it doesn't matter the amount of enumerated rights that you see in the Constitution. We have a lot more that's not in the Constitution, because the document would be so humongous, so huge, we couldn't continue to put what our rights is in that document. Follow me, people. So, when I tell that criminal imposter Errol G. Williams that him have no right or authority to put my private property and his avalarium tax roll, him have no right. Now, again, I'm not a goddamn slave. I'm not going to act like I'm a slave. As a matter of fact, let's go to Mr. Wikipedia real quick and let's see who a slave is. Let's see who or what a slave is, because we have to understand. Look, Errol G. Williams told us when it comes on to the meaning of words, he don't care what words mean or how words are applied into law. So we know that, you know. So he told us that verbatim. So we have to take him at his word. But at the same time, we need to make certain that we know what certain word and phrase means, right? Let's see what this word slave means.
Slave.
Slave. Okay. This is what Mr. Wikipedia said the word slave is. A person legally owned by another and having no freedom to act, no freedom of action or right to property. You see that's key. If you're a slave, you cannot own property. Follow what I'm saying carefully. If you are a slave, you cannot own property. You cannot. Because you're free. Because somebody else own your black ass or your white ass or whatever color your ass is. If you're a slave, you cannot own property. You think look, how many of you ever hear the term 40 acre and a mule? You ever hear that reference, 48 acres and a mule? That we are owed 40 acres and a mule, and that would circumpense for our repatriation or come on, I'm having a brain for repensation. Huh? 40 acres and a mule. It was Abraham Lincoln. Look, family, I've been saying for quite some time now that under the Democratic Party, black people have been shafted. Under the Democratic Party, black people have been shafted. And as I stated earlier, that I was one of the ignorant people out there who wasn't informed enough or knowledgeable enough about the Democratic Party and the people who run and operate the Democratic Party, as we still have here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana today as we speak. Every single act of inequality, of slavery, of injustice, we the people sustain underneath the Democratic Party. And what the Democratic Party have done for some time now and continue to do with some leverage and some success is to switch the conversation around to let it appears or let it seems as if it is the Republican Party who render all those negative attributes to we the people or to the black masses. And they have done that successfully. What they also do is to keep the vast majority of people hungry, or to give them just amount to keep them on a rotation belt, to keep them to give them just enough food that they will have to come back to the Democratic Party so that the Democratic Party can have itself a base. Let me say that one more time. This is how the Democratic Party works. The Democratic Party go out there and establish all these social privilege. They establish all these social privilege. The food stamps, the housing voucher, the Obama phones, all these things. And they do that just so that they can control a certain sector or society of people, right? And they speak on that issue and that issue alone. So what am I saying is that the Democratic Party is not a party that will elevate people financially or mentally. That's not what they do. Just so that they can have a base. They will tell you about Social Security or Medicare or welfare, right? And they use that to keep you down. And when somebody else talk about elevating the masses or the individual from that welfare status, then the Democratic Party zoom in and say, look, you don't like people, you don't like these people. That's why you want to take away the house, that's why you want to take away the welfare, that's why you want to take away certain social things that we are giving to them. No, family, without straying from the point or the issue. This is not a democratic form of government. It's a republic. We are, when this nation was formed, are let's say it a different way. Government was not instituted to take care of people. Government was not instituted to take care of people. That's not the job. That's not the job. So, if government finds itself in a position whereby it's taking care of people, let me give you a scenario because we like to give example here. Let's say you go to an employer and you ask that employer for a job, and that employer give you a job, right? Now, you have a relationship. You the employee and you have an employer. So you the employee is working for that employer. That employer is paying you the employee. Now, just imagine that somewhere along the line, you the employee now have to be, or you find yourself in a position where you have to play your employer. You feel me? The system wasn't designed like that. The contract wasn't like that. When you went and applied to your employer for a job, at no point in time did you tell your employer that you will be giving your employer a weekly or a monthly or a bi-weekly paycheck. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. All right? Put that scenario into the establishment of government. Government was not instituted to take care, to finance, to house, to take care of its electorate. Now, all you have to go and do is read these documents to which we read here every day, and inform you the purpose and intent of government. We the people created government and elect people to attend to our affairs. Our affairs, let me give you an example. We as a people recognize that, look, the roads out there is public road for everybody to use. You ever get a goddamn traffic ticket from the municipal corporation, from the body politic, and they tell you about the city road? You ever talk about the city road? How the hell can government own roads or the municipal corporation own roads? They don't own jack. They use the terminology and they've been using it so long, so it appears they have been saying certain things for so long to the point where they themselves start to believe that crap. Here we have public roads, right? Now we the people know that some of us, some people among us, gonna want to utilize these same public roads for a financial gain, right? Maybe running taxi for commerce, running taxi. We're gonna have people out there who want to utilize the road for truck drivers, move goods and product from one territory to the other territory, right? So we know that there is among us, we got business-minded people who are going to want to utilize the public road for a financial gain. We know that, right? So we say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to create government, and we're going to employ some people to attend to that aspect of our affairs. Okay? And we're going to give them, we're going to delegate to them certain authority by which they can control that group of people over there. That group of people who want to utilize the public road for commerce, who want to utilize the public road for a financial gain. So we want to go and regulate that group of people. So we want to ensure that the guy out there who's driving his tractor trailer, okay, we want to make sure his air pressure is regulated. We want to make sure he does not overpack his trailer, right? So when he makes certain corners or certain turn, him can flip over. And when we and our family going about our own person, when him flip, it cause us harm. We want to ensure that that truck driver don't, because he is utilizing the road for a financial gain, don't spend 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours behind the wheel at any one time. So while he's out there driving, utilizing the road for a financial gain, fall asleep, then cause an accident that can harm us. So we want them to regulate that and regulate those group of people. We want to ensure that that truck driver have a license, have insurance, that group of people. You understand what I'm talking about? So we institute government, we put people to public office to regulate or to take care of some affairs that we really don't want to do or have the time to do. Okay? They regulate them. We put people into office because we say, look, we know that the road gonna get messed up after a while. And we want to make sure that we have certain people out there that's maintaining our roads. We say, look, we know that we need utilities in our property. We need water. We need electricity in our property. So we put, that's the reason why we create government and we have elected officials. And we also, in having elected officials, we add or we institute a revenue stream for them. We have a revenue stream because look, we want to make certain that they are well taken care of, their families are well taken care of, they have food on the table and they have a roof over their head, right? And we create a revenue stream for them, which is all laid out in the contract. All right? They wasn't supposed to go into office to turn around and to put food on our table and roof over our head. That's not what government is for. It wasn't then and it's still not now. But what happened along the way? Along the way, the Democratic Party, recognizing the fact that they cannot control the masses, they now create a welfare state or a welfare society by which they don't teach the average person to fish. They actually give you a goddamn fish. They give it to you. And look, There's 7 days in a week. They give you 2 fish for 2 days because they know the 3rd day you're going to have to come back to them. That's the Democratic Party, family. Let's go back to the scenario, 40 acres and a mule. Look, we like to use timelines and actual reality and facts. Again, for those of you who don't know, the name of this show is The Proven Truth, not the Anthony Brown Show. This is not my show. The name of this show is a people show, a matter of fact. And the name of the people show is The Proven Truth, that to which is constant with facts and reality. During the Civil War period, when the North recognized it was about to win the Civil War under Abraham Lincoln, right? They recognized that a lot of emancipated black people at the time, a lot of free people at the time, a lot of people who, because again the South was losing, started to follow the Union troops around. Abraham Lincoln tell his general, what's the name of that general again? I don't remember right now. Well, one of his Sanders, no, not Sanders. I don't remember. I'll tell you in a minute. Tell one of his generals, look, we have to do something for this newly free black people. Okay? So what he did, at the time, they had a Secretary of War. That's what the official title at that time, the Secretary of War. So Abraham Lincoln sent his Secretary of War here to the South with a couple of his generals and said, look, meet with a couple of these black people and see what it is that they want or they aspire to do. Now, Abraham Lincoln at the time was a Republican president. Republican. Now, it's also said that he was the one who freed black people by writing the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, for right now, let's operate or let's talk from that perspective. Let's say that was actually true and factual, that he freed black people. So it was a Republican who freed the slave here in America, right? They offered to black people 40 acres to every household, or to every individual, every household, not individual, every household, 40 acres of land from the territory, Georgia, the Carolinas, and Florida. Okay, that beltway right there. That's the territory right there. 40 acres of land. Right? Because they were victorious in defeating the South, and all those slave masters at the time was to flee, right? Leaving the slaves out there, right? So I'm giving you the short version of it. I'm just trying to prove a point. So Abraham Lincoln sent his representative down here to meet. They met with 20 black free men at the time, 20 religious black free men, right? And the demand was, we need land for ourselves that we can cultivate, we can build our own property, and we can, make a community for ourselves. Abraham Lincoln authorized that. Hence, the 40 acres of land given to the black people. Now, one of his generals that was there also mentioned that, look, we have a ton of mules that we don't want no more. We don't want no more. We have no use for no more. So, along with that 40 acres of land, give them a mule. Hence, 40 acres of land plus the mule. Right? Now, understand the concept. At that point, my brothers and sisters, at that very point, that 40 acres of land and that mule was given to free. What did I say? Free black people. Free. Now, again, before the Civil War, there was slave. They couldn't own property. A matter of fact, they wasn't even regarded as human beings. Right? And again, let's go to Mr. Wikipedia. Mr. Wikipedia, what is the meaning of slave?
Slave.
Thank you, sir. Let me read the definition. A person legally owned by another. So we're talking about human beings owning other human beings. And no, we ain't talking about through that contractual agreement, what we call marriage. We're not talking about through that type of ownership right there. And a matter of fact, that right there is not even an ownership. That right there is a partnership. Marriage is a partnership, is a contract between two people. One person, look, I will stay with you until death do us part, and we will live as one, share what we have equally. So that's a partnership. That's a contractual agreement between two consenting people. What we're talking about here, as according to this definition, is one person legally owning somebody else, just like how you own your car, your clothes, your house, your food, right? Having no freedom of action or right of property. So, when the free slave was given that 40 acre, or when the black people at the time was given that 40 acre and that mule by a Republican president, they at the time was free. Okay? What is the topic of today's program? I'm not a goddamn slave and I won't act like one. I refuse to act like one. Now, how long did these black people, or did these free black people, keep that 40 acre and that mule? How long? How long, family? Not long. What happened? Here comes Andrew Johnson. Here comes Andrew Johnson. After the assassination of Lincoln, here comes Andrew Jackson, a goddamn Democrat. And what did he do? What did this Democrat president do? Black people, you talk about you love the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is so good to you because you don't know your history, because you are misinformed, you have been bamboozled for years, and you have been lied to, you have been deceived, you have been used. You don't have a clue about your ancestors. That's why you like and you love the Democratic Party and you stick to them like glue. Here comes Andrew Jackson. No, not Jackson. Andrew Johnson, the 17th president to the United States. What did he do? That Democratic president. He rescinded. A matter of fact, for those of you who want to get more information about this, they are, man, my brain today is frying. It is special order. You look. This is public information, you know. This is not special order 15. Go to Mr. Google or Mr. Yahoo or whoever you want to go to. Special order 15, and you will find for yourself some information about this crap too. But here comes this Democrat president, Andrew Johnson. What did he do? He went and he rescinded that order, giving back to the slave owners, the southern slave owners, the rights to their property after they run away and abandon the property. Run away. And in so doing, the people, the black people that were over here that was free, was only free for that period of time during the Civil War when Abraham Lincoln was a guardian president. Because what happened in that time when it was 1860, 1865, what happened is once they was to relinquish that 40 acre back to the white man, to the white supremacy, to the slave master, then they once again become slave because they was to go and work for the white man, for the slave master, give him back his property, and then turn around and start to till the soil for the white man again. Otherwise, they couldn't stay on their property no more. That's the Democratic Party for you. That's the Democratic so-called leader for you. That's the people who, let me show, look, let's come back right down into today's time and today's so-called leader. All you guys have to do, go and take a look at the Louisiana Secretary of State website. Harold G. Williams, that so-called tax assessor, New Orleans, Louisiana, that criminal imposter, Democrat. No good Cedric Richmond, Democrat. Paula Brown, that so-called judge on the Louisiana 4th Circuit Court, Democrat. A matter of fact, basically all the judges in the territorial, look, for the most part, the Democrat, starting with Bernadette Johnson, Democrat. Look, on all these four judges, Tina and Trish, all these four judges that previously was in the news, robbing people on the bench, Democrats. Canizero, Democrat. James Gray, Democrat. All them Democrats. Arthur Morrell, Democrat. Harold G. Williams, Democrat. Dwight McKen, he's a coroner, Democrat. Latoya Cantrell, Democrat. Jason Williams, Democrat. Every single person on the New Orleans City Council, Democrat. James Banks, Democrat. Palmer, Democrat. Brissett, Democrat. Cindy, Democrat. Morrell, Democrat. That's Judge, Democrats. You see, Tian Anderson Trish, Democrat. That's that criminal that's calling herself a judge. One who's robbing people the money, taking money from them to perform weddings. Criminal. Look, family. Let's go back to the Constitution real quick. And let's confirm some of what I've been saying. If you look on Amendment 9 to the United States Constitution, this is what Amendment 9 states. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage other rights other retained by the people. Full stop. Let me read it again. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. I said it before. The enumerated rights in this book is not the only rights that I, Anthony Brown, lay claim to. I don't know about you, but personally. And again, this document does not speak on my behalf. This document, I refer to it sometime when I'm trying to have a dialogue with them so-called elected officials, just to outline to them that, look, within your contract, look at Amendment 9. Well, when I'm talking to these criminals here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, I don't utilize this document. Sometimes I do, but I utilize this document right here, which I'm going to go to in a second. But for those of you who watch this and listen to this show a lot, you will know what I meant or what I mean when I say, who is your daddy? When we speak about the United States Constitution, we refer to it as who is your daddy, because without this document, without the Constitution to the United States, there would be the other 50 territories. Their constitution wouldn't be relevant. Okay? Let's look at Amendment 13. It reads, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Now, let's look at the 13th Amendment real quick. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. If you work all your life, or if you go to work and you purchase a car, right? And you pay for that car, you work hard, you pay for your car, and someone come and steal that car away from you. Steal that car and start to, use it for their own purpose. And let's say you see that person. Let's say you happen to encounter that person or see that person, and you say, man, look, that's my car. And they put a gun to your head and say, man, go to hell. I ain't care. It's my car now. That means you actually servitude yourself for that person. That means you actually work all your life or work for however long it takes you to purchase that car for that person, the person who is now, driving your car or benefiting from your car. They are now benefiting from your sweat equity or from your labor, right? You actually, during the time when you was working for that car or for that piece of property, you were actually a slave, because here it is now, somebody owns your property. So you basically work free for whatever the time frame is for that person, 'cause that person now have your property. And that person acquire your property without the due process of law or without any contractual agreement between you and that person. Hence, involuntary servitude, right? I'm not sure if that's the best example, but that's what I could come with right now. As it relates to the 13th Amendment, slavery. Slavery is to work for someone without any type of compensation or any type of pay. Right? Any type of compensation or any type of pay. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying, or I use an example, if you actually add or acquire a piece of property, whatever the property is, car, house, whatever, if you had acquired that piece of property, because it says slavery or involuntary servitude. Involuntary servitude meaning not by your own free will. You didn't do it freely. It was involuntary. So you had a piece of property. You acquired a piece of property. Let me use myself for example. I work hard all my life. I work hard. I purchased a piece of property out there in New Orleans East, right? And all out of the blues, here comes Errol criminal imposter Williams telling me that, look, this piece of property, your private property, is now my property. Or I have the authority to put your piece of private property on the ad valorem tax roll. And when you ask him why or how did he get that authority, he cannot explain or tell you, or he refuses. I'm telling you. A matter of fact, what you get from him is circular fallacy. That's it. Because we can, or because we have the authority to do. Again, and that in and of itself, it's a violation of federal statute. A matter of fact, it's a violation of the antitrust laws. Government cannot come upon the private sector and take from the private sector what they want to because they can. It's a violation of the antitrust laws. Okay? But let's let's stick with this for a second. Okay. Now, we're talking about the amendments to the Constitution that deals with the Bill of Rights, or that deal with the rights of the people. Okay? Let's go to 14 real quick. This is what 14 says. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state/territory shall make or enforce any laws which shall abridge the privilege or immunity of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Right? Nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of law. That's the 14th Amendment. That's the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Now, again, who is your daddy? Let's go to the offspring of the the United States Constitution, which is the Louisiana Constitution. My family, my brothers and sisters, your brother ain't a goddamn slave, and I won't act like it. And I refuse from acting like it. The Second Amendment in the Constitution is there for a purpose. The Second Amendment, what the Second Amendment says, the power, no, wrong one. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people. When you talk about people, we're talking about individual people. Individual. Me, by myself. The people. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period. After the word infringe, there's a period or a full stop, nothing else. I tell you this much for the founding fathers, there were some smart people. This family is, okay, we're talking about the 14th Amendment, right? Okay, the 14th Amendment. Let's go to the Louisiana Constitution, Article 1. Let's go to Section 2. Let's start at Section 2. Okay? What does Section 2 says? Due process of law. Again, key point to know. Article 1 of the Louisiana Constitution deals with Declaration of Rights. Deals with what? The Declaration of Rights. What the Constitution does is basically guarantee the rights that you, the individual, have. Right? And even if it's not in the contract, which we read to you Section 9 or Amendment 9 in the Constitution, even if it's not enumerated in the contract, once you make claim to that right, it's a right, and they must recognize it. Once you tell them what your rights is, whether or not it's in the contract, they must acknowledge and recognize it to be a right. Them criminal bastard call himself elected official, goddamn politician with them politics. Section 2, due process of law. Now, family, again, disclaimer. Your brother ain't an attorney. I'm not professing to be an attorney. I don't want to be an attorney. I could if I want to. I don't want to. I work for mines. I refuse from lying to people, misleading people, taking people money without representing them to the full extent of the law. I will not do that. Hence, I would never ever go to any institution of indoctrination just to be a member of the Bar Association. I work honestly for mines. I won't cheat, lie, nor rob to put food on my table or roof over my head. And saying that further, I'm saying that not with any disrespect to anybody that's a member of the Bar Association. Because I say it every day, I have friends all over North America who are members of the Bar Association, who carry a P number, right? But my close friends who are members of the Bar Association, be it Louisiana, California, New York, or wherever, they also have other credentials or other jobs that they do for a living that can feed them. You have honest people. You have people who went and got the law degree, went and sit the bar exam, went inside these courts and recognized the fact that what they learned in law school, what they learned about law, when it come on to its application inside these courts, is totally different. And they refuse from actually practicing law anymore, even though they still have the law degree and they keep the number. Due process of law is paramount, is fundamental. Let's read section 2. This is what section 2 of the declaration of the article 1 states. No person shall be deprived of life. You know what deprive mean? Deprive means to be taken away, to lost, to lose, to no longer be in control, to no longer have. That's what deprive mean. Life of life. What does life mean? Means you can't breathe the breath that God give you no more. Some way, shape, or form, they stop life or they take life away from you. Liberty. You know what liberty means? Liberty means to do whatever you choose to do. However you choose to do it. Wherever, whenever, wherever, for whatever. Liberty. Meaning you can free our property. Again, a slave cannot own property. A slave cannot own property because a slave in and of himself is property to someone else. If you're a slave, you are basically property of someone else. Hence, you cannot own property. Let's read it out continuously. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property except by due process of law, period. So, should I make that statement again? I, your brother Anthony Brown, ain't a goddamn slave, and I won't act like I'm a slave. Look no further than Article 1, Section 2 of the Louisiana Constitution. Somebody called Errol G. Williams, somebody called Bernadette Johnson, somebody called Paula Brown, somebody called Cedric Richmond, somebody called John Bell Edwards, somebody called that clown Etlin Sim Julia, Division N, Civil District Court, and tell them due process of law is a prerequisite for anyone to lose property. It's a prerequisite. This is the United States of America. The last time I checked, and that was an hour and 40 minutes ago. We have a constitution, we have a president, and we have a flag. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper, family. Let's go to Section 4. Now, again, same article, same constitution. All right? We're talking about rights, constitutionally guaranteed rights, which is totally different from my rights. My rights is given to me at birth by my God, by the God of the universe and my earthly gods. You know my earthly gods is? My mom and my dad. My mom and my dad is my earthly gods. They are the ones who give me my right. My right is from birth. This right here that we are reading is constitutionally guaranteed, and it was meant for them. Who is them? The politician, the politricksters, them criminals who taking the public money under false pretense, under the color of law. Somebody call that criminal imposter Errol G. Williams, and I'm going to read it, then you call him and tell him about it. Section 4 of Article 1, rights to property. Every person have the right to acquire. So I have the right to acquire. You know what acquire means? To get, to possess, to own, to buy, to deal, to contract, to get something. Own, control, use, enjoy, protect. Hey, family, let me tell you all something. Out of all the words I called thus far, whenever I come upon this word protect, I love this word. To protect. I will protect minds to the bitter end. I will protect minds to the bitter end. I don't care how big or bad the guy want to be or claim to be. I will be David against Goliath. I don't care what you want to call yourself. Once it come to mind, you better, let me tell you something. You better be in the same frame of mind like I am when it comes to mind. Because when it comes to mind, I am willing to give life. You better be in that same of mind too. Protect. It's right here in black and white for the world to see. And dispose of private property, full stop. Full stop. Somebody go tell a clown, Errol G. Williams, that crap. Section 4B. Property shall not be taken or damaged by the state or its political subdivision, the territory of New Orleans, the body politic, the municipal corporation. Look, let's talk a bit, family. Is either these people cannot read or comprehend what they're reading, or they're stupid. No, look. The problem your brother having, the problem that I'm having with these politricksters is the fact that they're gonna pretend that when Anthony Brown contact them or try to speak to them about the law or about what is rightfully mine, that I must be off the reservation. I'm like, hold up. All you have to do is go and look on the contract. And the contract outlines every single thing that I'm telling to you or saying to you verbatim. What is so hard to understand or to comprehend? And when you look on these people, right, and the credentials that a lot of these people have, you have to wonder, how the hell can you have such a credentials and you're acting so stupid? Huh? Then you will recognize, look, It is the same thing happened to us when we went into federal court and we encounter Trish Malanza. Before our case was submitted to that other crony, that other political activist judge, Susan Morgan, we went inside that federal court, right, in the territory of New Orleans, Eastern District. And here it is, you have a federal judge that couldn't comprehend certain basic legal concept that a first-year law student supposed to readily gravitate to or understand. She couldn't comprehend. We know right off the bat, based on what the oral argument that we present in the federal court, that something else is wrong. Something must be wrong. Because here we have a federal judge. And we're talking about basic terminology, basic legal concept. And she was scratching her head like she's a goddamn buffoon. And when we leave the court and we did some more investigation, we recognized why she was acting like she was a goddamn buffoon. Because she's a puppet of the political illusion, political machine controlled by Cedric Richmond. To which we kick her ass off the case. We file a motion to disqualify her. Then it was given to another activist federal judge. Again, Democrat. Let me tell you something, man. We, the people of this territory, of this nation, have suffered a lot under the authority of the Democratic Party and its so-called leaders. And we can go as far back into history as you want. You will see. We are living in a territory right now, New Orleans, Louisiana, where I just showed it to you a while ago. And for those of you who don't believe me, I really don't care. But again, this is the proven truth. And look, another disclaimer. Anything that I've said on this show, either today, yesterday, last week, last year, last month, whenever, again, if there's anyone out there who can rebut what I'm saying, or who can prove that what I'm saying is factually false, if you can prove that what I'm saying is factually false, I'm not thin-skinned. Call me out. And call me out so that everybody else can hear as well. And if you can prove it, look, you will never prove that, but if you can prove it, and I was wrong, I will apologize. And if I need to pay restitution, I will. If I need to pay restitution, I will. Now, family, again, when we look, I just show it to you. When we look and the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, dominantly the elected officials that's serving in the respective branch of government are dominantly Democrats. Okay? And when you look at the fact that this territory, when it comes on to financial prosperity, the territory of Louisiana is scraping the bottom of the barrel, is running dead last when it comes to financial prosperity against the other 49 territories. We are dead last. When you check on certain groups and organizations out there, when it come on to the reporting of the worst run territory, the territory of Louisiana. When it comes to New Orleans, under democratic rule and democratic so-called leaders, we are creating the largest and look, we're outpacing California 2-1, 3-1. We're outpacing California when it comes on to homeless population. And why? Because we have corrupted politicians here in office. Corrupted politicians. We have politicians taking bribe money to sell out the people of New Orleans, Louisiana. That's what they're doing. Taking money to sell us out, to cause harm to us while they are in public office. We have an imposter in office right now by the name of Errol G. Criminal Williams. Been in public office for 33 years. We the people have been giving him a salary for 33 long goddamn years. What is our pay, or what are we retrieved, or what did we get from this criminal imposter? We have the most homeless people here in the territory. We have the most people, we have the most decline in home owners. We have the most people losing their property because of the theft and deception of the body politic. We have the most people leaving the territory or who refrain from coming back to the territory because of them, because of Errol G. Williams. Family, to summarize, when you look on the Democratic Party, both from a territorial point of view and a national point of view and a historical point of view, the Democratic Party have a history of reigning tyranny on black people specifically and people generally. They do that. The black masses can point to the Democratic Party when it comes on to inequality, injustice, and unfairness. And I just barely touch the scale when I make mention to a phrase that a lot of you supposed to be fully aware of or hear before: 40 acres and a mule. That 40 acres and a mule was given to us by a Republican president and taken away taken away by a Democratic president. We're talking about party, Democratic Party. Was given to our ancestors, was given to black people during the Civil War era by Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, and taken away after the assassination by Andrew Johnson, a Democrat. And you love the Democratic Party. So let me tell you something. Here in the territory of New Orleans, I'm going to show you how genuine and honest the Democratic Party is. We had a candidate, a Democratic candidate on the ballot a while back, running for the treasury of this territory, Louisiana, a Democrat. And the Democratic Party did not endorse him. They went and they endorsed the Republican candidate. And they are, so what am I saying? Here it is, you have your house, and inside your house you got your kids, right? And your kids are trying to go to college. They need money, they need help, they need tutoring, they need clothes to go to college. And you gonna leave your house. You're gonna go into someone else's house. And you're gonna take their kids. And you're gonna put their kids to college. You're gonna give their kids tutoring, their kids food. You're gonna take care of their kids. And over here, your kids are starving. Your kids cannot go to college because they don't have the resources. That is the Democratic Party for you. Here it is. I, your brother, your friend, Anthony Brown, a free man, was born free, still is, the last time I checked, still free, and will continue to be free. I prefer give up life before I find myself in slavery or in bondage. Here it is. Because I'm free, my God give me that right and authority to own and acquire property. Here it is over here. We have this so-called black Democratic politricksters telling me that no, I don't have the right to own property. That means I'm a goddamn slave. Look, to Harold G. Williams and all his crony friends, to all the criminal politicians, politricksters here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, listen to the words that coming out of my mouth. Anthony Brown is not a slave. I'm free. I'm a free man. I'll continue to be free. Hence, I'll be owning property. And if you think you have some superior authority to come and take mines, come on. My brothers and sisters, Anthony Brown, much love. Peace.